So Norway imposes a near AI ban for school children. And the reason why it's stated is that it impedes the learning process, which is correct. One big problem with AI is that people are replacing AI for their own original thoughts. So they're using it as basically they're surrendering their own volition, they're surrendering their own thought process to some external, what they perceive as a quote unquote know-it-all. And we've seen all kinds of problems in academia. I made a video on this several months ago where a college student bragged that most of his papers that he wrote came from AI. In other words, he didn't do the work that he was supposed to do. And really, AI is a fantastic tool if you use it as an assistant, as something as like a companion to your own thought process. So if you, for example, tell it to do, X search. I want you to search these search engines across this part of the internet, and these are specifically the type of results I want you to find. Something like that is an appropriate use for such a technology. People are abusing it. They're using it as a means of bypassing their own thought process. Like they don't want to actually do the work to actually think for themselves. And what it really is that it's retarding people. People are getting stupid. Some people are getting stupid because they're using it like that. So I absolutely support some kind of a ban. Really, it shouldn't be used for people who are still developing their minds. Like if you're still developing, like if you're, and obviously children would be the case, really many adults as well. Most people don't really develop their full rational capacity, which is something I mention over and over again. Because if people did, we wouldn't have any of the problems that we're having. But nonetheless, the AI, among other things, has made the situation worse. And when you do that, by the way, you're reducing your own capacity to independently draw your own conclusions. The more you rely on something else, the less your brain is exercised in such a way that it can do any kind of critical pushback. So AI, if it's ubiquitous, is probably going to have the effect of retarding people and making them more susceptible to some form of totalitarianism. Just from the technical term is just from the epistemological sense. In other words, just in a sense of gaining their own information or the ability to come up with their own information. So the fact that people are looking into it is a good thing, and I'm glad that people are noticing it right away. But people need to be honest about what AI is. It's a tool. It's not a substitute for your own judgment.